What would it have taken for Arcitys to stay with the Chicago Huntsmen? Could anything have been done? Could SCUMP or Formal or Envoy, could they have changed his mind? In today's episode, we want to take a little bit of a deeper dive after some comments from SCUMP in terms of how he feels about Arcitys going to Atlanta and how he feels just basically in general overall. He wished that he would have stayed. But before we get into that, if you guys have a PS4, make sure you go into the PS Store and you download the alpha. It's available right now to download for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. It'll go live tomorrow. It'll run from Friday through Sunday for PlayStation users. It's free. You don't need a PS Plus account or anything. This is a tweet that came out just a few days ago from Tony Flame, who's a dev over at Treyarch, that said, surprise, it's alpha time this weekend only, PlayStation only, you're invited. See you out there. I'll be the one farming streaks while I still have a leg up. We've been waiting a long time for this. Black Ops Cold War alpha this weekend. Let's go. And then one other tweet that he just sent out, this was not even an hour ago. He said, do you stay up late at night thinking, but how long will it take to level up in Cold War Alpha? What if Ninja Perk is locked at max rank? What's the time to play for the AK-70 for you? Then he said, your time is valuable, so everything in Alpha, from create a class to score streaks, is unlocked and yours to enjoy. I think that they are absolutely hitting it out of the park right now with the surprise alpha. I mean, that's crazy enough, but just the fact that they're just throwing it out there. Here's the game, go play it. And while it seems like it's a good deal for us, it is a great deal for us, but let's not understate just how much information they're getting from this, right? People are going to be using all sorts of different weapons. They still want to make changes to the game before the beta and before the final release. So this will be their first true ability to see what everybody's doing, what they're using, what guns are OP, what needs adjusted, what perks and everything else is going on. So yeah, if you have PlayStation, make sure you go download this. If not, maybe tune into some streams this weekend because it should be a good time. But without further ado, I do want to go ahead. I want to take a peek at this clip from SCUMP. When it comes to this, he talks about what it means for Arcitys leaving, how it affects his team, what really happened, and it's just his point of view. So let's go ahead. Let's take a peek at this.
How do you feel about Arcitys going to FaZe? You know what? If you love something, sometimes you just gotta let it go. We didn't want to force him to stay on our roster. He wanted to go play main AR. It happens. Everyone's happy at the end of the day. Would have loved to have him, though. God, I love that guy. Ah!
So yeah, there's the clip overall. It's exactly what everybody was saying, right? Obviously, Arcitys, since he came into the league, he hasn't been in a position where he can just run that main AR, right? It's what he does best. And when he was with E United and won that first championship, Clayster was there, he was the main AR. When he came over to the Huntsman, Formal was there, he was the main AR. So sometimes you have an opportunity to go to a different team where you can be successful, and you can't fault him for wanting to do that, right? If your dream job was out there and you got a job that was kind of like it, kind of okay, sure, you would be thrilled. But if your dream job, your absolute dream job to do exactly what you wanted to do came up, you would want to take it. And I do have some respect for just Hex overall and the Huntsman organization, Andy Miller, NRG. I think that this is the right move. Had they have been able to kept Arcitys, without a doubt, they would have been one of the best teams in the game. Thing about him being in that flex role, even though it's not the one that he wants to play, but he's super good at it. He showed that over the course of Modern Warfare. SMGs might be a tiny bit behind what some of the other top teams are. We'll talk about that in a moment. So when you look at the roles across the board, they're absolutely right there with those other top teams. So you do have to respect what they did as an organization. They're able to get another piece behind him. We'll see what Dashy brings to the table, but just wanted to make sure we were covering what's going on there from at least SCUMP's point of view. You can see that he's a little bit frustrated. Other thing that I want to touch on real quick is that Temp said on stream earlier, this is from CDL Intel, that he doesn't have a spot on a team yet. It does sound like he probably will get one, at least from what he said later on. Here's the clip over here at Twitch. I don't want to play it just because there is some copyrighted music in the background and I don't want to take that Temp. But if you go over to Temp's Twitch page and just click on the clip, it's one of the first ones that's on there. So he does say that he doesn't have a spot yet, but there are some options out there. I do think that he is going to find one, whether it's that flex role over at OGLA or if it's teaming up with Octane or I mean, who knows? There's a bunch of options of different places that he could go. So it does seem like he's going to go somewhere. It's just not fully completed yet. Other thing that I'll touch on is we don't know what's going on with those EU teams, but it does seem like some of those those EU players might be coming together. Shawnee just said the other day he was playing Black Ops 4 League play with Dylan. So those are kind of the duo that we know of so far, him and Dylan. I have speculated that perhaps Alex would go to London just because he's a really great talent and that's where he's from and he has a history over there. So maybe he's a third with London. Then Zach was playing with them. Also, Denz was playing with them. So who knows if maybe somebody from the Paris roster comes over to join with London. We'll see what happens. As we go back, he said, I believe it was up here. Yeah, so Zach Denyer was playing with them. Denz was playing with them also. So it does seem like some of these EU guys might be hanging out, coming together. But last thing here, I just wanted to make sure that we were looking at the latest up-to-date rosters and just kind of pointing out here what's happened. Minnesota released their roster. They did a whole slew of press conferences and streams and roster introduction. So a really nice job out of them. I do think that they're a 5-6 team somewhere in there. Atlanta, Dallas, Chicago, they are basically set going in. I think that they're probably the 3 best teams as it stands right now. Toronto will be up there. New York and Florida, we'll see where Pharaoh goes. If Pharaoh goes to New York, that could be a top 3 squad, a top 4 squad, depending on how they gel. I think the addition of Clayster to them is absolutely massive. So, whole lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. It does seem like the dust might have settled just a tiny bit when it comes to free agency. But in this one, any comments, put them down below. I'm super interested to see what you guys have to say about what Scump is saying. The Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Alpha is coming out tomorrow or today as you're watching this. So any comments, put them down below. Thanks as always for all your support as of late. New around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Leave a like. It helps out the channel. We will see you in tomorrow's upload.